Hey guys, welcome to the replay. Ro has
Hey.
such a powerful show for you today. I'm so excited that you were able to join. It's going to be so good.
Yes, I'm so excited. Welcome everyone. This is Rochelle T. Parks. I am your health motivator, and we have a fire message today from none other than Tiphani Montgomery. I'm super excited. I can't wait. I'm so glad you caught this replay. It's going to be awesome broadcast. So Tiphani Montgomery, wow. I'm excited. Can you see the smile on my face? Man, I've been cheesing all day. I'm excited, guys. Let me introduce you to somebody that I admire so much. Wow, to have on my show, Mindset Talk. So Tiphani Montgomery, she's very modest. So allow me to do this, Tiphani. Tiphani, founder of Millions Conference. First of all, just a woman of God. Okay, if you follow her on Instagram, you got to know she's a woman of God, motivational speaker, prophetess. Self-made millionaire, 7 times Essence Magazine best-selling author, mother of 2. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you here. My husband thinks you're just awesome. My 16-year-old thinks you're awesome. So welcome to Mindset Talks. I'm so excited.
I am too. Thank you for having me. I think this is such a necessary conversation that we need to have right now. So I'm excited.
Absolutely, guys. And we'll be talking about all things wellness, all things health and wellness. And I'll tell you why I love you so much. I mean, I love you for many things, Tiphani, but let me just tell you what really excites me. You're like the perfect client. I mean, really, like, and maybe you can relate to this. So, you know how sometimes you talk to people or you meet people and you feel like, man, I can really help them if they just did some of the things that I said to do. Right. And Tiphani, I will tell you that you have done absolutely, you like, Rochelle, what about this? And I tell you and you do it. And so that just, as the old people say, that just tickles my fancy. I just get so excited. Can you relate to that, Tiphani? Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. I think the people that I love working with the most actually execute as soon as you throw out the suggestions. And so I like working with people like me. And so I try to be the people that I enjoy working with. And I try also not to waste anybody's time. And so before even working with you, I trusted you. I trusted your advice. And it was just a no-brainer to get to some of the goals that I had in mind to get to, just as far as health and wellness were concerned.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. So speaking of that, your goals, can you tell me like where were you, or can you tell me a little bit about your own health journey?
Back in July 2019, I was feeling really lethargic and super tired, and it was around the time of my latest Millions conference, and I was just under the impression that maybe because I was working so hard or just so busy and, obviously probably forgetting a meal or here or there and not really taking wealth or wellness. It was important to me, but obviously when you're like working on a conference, you might miss a few things. So I just attributed it to just the basic tiredness of working too much. And I was on the phone with my aunt and she was like, go and get your vitamin D levels checked, is what she said. And she was like, that might be why you are tired. And so I'm going to go get what's called a lipid panel. And I went got the lipid panel and realized that my vitamin D was, it was, what was it? 28. It was 28. So, that's very deficient. And vitamin D is, the number one cause of a lot of major illnesses and diseases. And so it's really prevalent in African-American people that our vitamin Ds are a lot lower than anybody else in any other nationality. So I immediately got that up. And then I remember I reached out to you and I was like, bro, I'm super tired and I really I need my energy back. And you were like, here are these vitamin strips. I wish I could show them, but I actually just took mine for the day. And the thing I loved about that was you were like, hey, it's a 30-day money back guarantee. You're like, if you don't like it or you don't feel a change in your body, like if you are not tired anymore, tell me and you're getting all your money back. And I was like, nobody offers that kind of guarantee. On top of the fact that you said that you've been taking it for 8 years, like never missed a day. And then I started to, while I still trusted you, right, I still do my own research. I don't blindly trust anybody because I'm never sure of, your mindset. And so I took into to what I'm trying to say. But I also did a study on like vitamins and minerals. And what I did in my study was realize that our food is literally like you get no vitamins and minerals out of the food that you eat. Even if you're eating vegetables and fruit, there's so much pesticides in the soil that by the time it gets up from the soil and by the time it gets to your grocery store, you have lost maybe 60 to 70% of the vitamins and minerals in that food. And so I knew that I was incredibly vitamin deficient because I was already not eating enough greens. But definitely the greens that I was eating have been completely depleted of their vitamins and minerals because of the soil. And so I realized how important it was, and I immediately ordered the strip. And I mean, I take it every day, as you see. I just took it in front of her before we got on here. But I took that. It came with a probiotic, the B vitamin, 2 multivitamins, and 2 fish oil vitamins. She also told me to start taking zinc. And while this has zinc in it, I also got her zinc, which was I think about 10 or 15 milligrams. And so, I feel a whole lot better. My blood work is back on track. And what I'm just looking back on was like, wow, I was really deficient. And I would not have known that had I have not taken the lipid panel and had I have not really started to take this very seriously, because a lot of these things don't have symptoms to it. And so you can be incredibly deficient and not have any symptoms. But, I just thank God that, I just listened to my aunt and then came to you for the vitamins.
That's funny. That's why I love you, Tiphani. I tell you, you are echoing my sentiments, because for the last, today is day 11. I've been doing 30 days of Shaklee and just highlighting a product a day. And yesterday, a couple of days ago, I did vitamin D and zinc, actually. And just saying, I was speaking to that. I said African Americans were typically deficient in vitamin D. And because of the melanin, so it blocks the vitamin D. And also it's noted that vitamin D deficiency is linked to autoimmune disease, right? Linked. I didn't say cause, I said linked. And I also made mention that is not a routine test. Like, you have to request for your vitamin D to be checked. And my personal testimony is after being on Shaklee products for like a year, I got my vitamin D checked and it was like 24. And now the doctor was excited about that. I'm like, that's not anything to be excited about, doc. And he was like, no, most people are at single digits, and that was after a year. So I probably was one of those people, before taking Shaklee. And then, so I started taking additional vitamin D, and then maybe 6 months later, it was up to 59, and then it's just been going up and up. But I tell people it needs to be on the right side of 50. It needs to be close to 100. You want your vitamin D to be up. Yeah. So I'm excited. And so, man, so how did you just did your own research on this? And how did you know about the food, and you just started doing your own research? Because when I try to tell people that, they don't believe me.
Yeah, I did my own research, but obviously I do my fair share of praying and listening to God. And so he had been on my case about just health and wellness and making sure that I was taking care of my temple. And I think that when we think about the subject of worship, a lot of us, sing to God and we worship, and we're like, we sing in tongues or we sing in our natural language, and we feel like that's worship. But I wanted to go a little bit deeper in what I thought worship was. And I wanted to really go deeper in God. And I was like, well, Father, I want to worship you in my language, right? I want to worship you how I love my children. I want to worship you with how I speak to a stranger. I want to worship you in how I take care of my temple, how I take care of my body. And so God kind of speaks to me in all different types of revelations. And I was at a gas station, and it was my car takes 93, and so I was putting 93 in my car, and like it was just in that moment that God began to speak to me, and he was like, why wouldn't you put 87 in this car? And I said, because wouldn't function right on 87 because it's a higher end car, so it requires higher end fuel. And he was like, and I was like, oh God, that's so good.
That's it.
And I was like, I am higher, like I'm a higher quality, right? And so I require a higher quality fuel
Yes.
accomplish what God has for me to accomplish on this earth. And I knew that as I was taking care of my body, I wasn't worshiping God in my temple. I wasn't worshiping God and taking care of this thing that God has given me steward over. And I was like, start telling me what to take and what to do, and I'm gonna like do much better in it. You don't have to tell me twice. I understand that I am higher quality and I need to be feeding my body and myself premium fuel so that I can function.
That's it.
I also, when I was a child, they said I had ADD, which is attention deficit. And and one of the things I learned in that is just I refused to take Ritalin or Adderall. But one of the things I learned was that the less I ate sugar, the less my attention was out of whack. When sugar, I was a live wire, like the wire was like this. And the second I stopped eating sugar, it just completely stopped. And so I just always have been very, very, very intentional on the things that I needed to do to take care of my body. And also, just listening to my body and seeing what it likes and what it doesn't like and what needs to be changed and what doesn't need to be changed. Again, I've been feeling a lot better. And that's the reason why I was very interested in learning this stuff for myself. And, and obviously when you talk about vitamins and supplements, you have thousands out there to choose from, but you don't know which ones. I love what you said about, your probiotic was that, there's so many probiotics and prebiotics and all of that out there. But one thing about your probiotic was that it was like triple layered. And because like our stomachs have so much acid, most of the probiotics that we take don't even make it to the gut, which is where it needs to be to work. But your probiotic, it was triple layered so that it was able to withstand all of the acid attacks before it got to the gut, which is where it needed to do all the work. And so I listen to you. See, I be listening to you.
I'm listening to you. Oh my, you got me excited over here. She knows this stuff.
The fish oil and, all of that stuff. You're like, this is good for the brain, which is obviously something I could use, with attention deficit. And so, and then the multivitamins has all of the minerals and the vitamins that I need for the day. And so it's just been very beneficial to me. And I've been taking it before this COVID-19 and before this pandemic. So I'm glad that I was already, kind of a step ahead and just making, and then I got my son, my daughter and I take the strips, but my son also, I got him Shaklee vitamins. So
the kids, the whole family, my whole family takes them.
Like his dad and I co-parent very well. And I went ahead and bought him some boxes and shipped them to his house. So he's also on it. And what I love about that is, his dad is he's a difficult guy, but when he was done with them, I was like, I'm not going to ask him about them. And he called me. He was like, hey, those vitamins, I ran out. Can you order me some more? And I was like,
we winning. We winning.
He was like, yeah. He said, I want some more of those. And I was very shocked. And that's like, he's like the kind of person that would just go get vitamins anywhere and be like, I'll take these vitamins. But he was very specific. Like these, I felt a complete difference.
Complete difference. And that's what I get from most people. When they start taking these vitamins, it's like, I remember I've got some very interesting comments from people that take their vitamins, but people say like, I remember one lady said, Rochelle, if I didn't know any better, I would think I drank an energy drink, but I mean, like, this is crazy. Or another female.
I told you I took mine at night. So, most people take their vitamins during the day.
Right,
and
I
take my vitamins at night. By the time I wake up, the vitamins will be working and I'll be ready to go. And I'm like, it's like all the nutrients went to work while I was resting at night. As soon as I'm on the ground, I'm ready to I'm up. I'm not tired or anything. It's like, it's amazing. But let's talk about, with COVID-19 and all of these new symptoms and, they're talking about African Americans, is hitting them more than any other nationality. Right. And so let's talk about, for the people watching, obviously there's so many people out here giving tips and tricks and nobody really knows what this thing is. But I think what you and I both know for sure is the greatest defense outside of prayer, which is the best defense, is making sure your immune system is at a level where it's able to easily fight off something like this. So what are some of your suggestions in just African American men and women building up their immune system so that this thing doesn't attack?
Okay, so that's a great question. And I am a believer that I've been preaching like we have to fortify our immune system. So I talk about this analogy that when your immune system is fortified, it's like you're wearing a bulletproof vest, right? And the reality is a lot of us are out here with like t-shirts on, t-shirts with holes in them, and so we're not safe. And so some things we can do to fortify our immune system definitely is supplementation. Well, first of all, food is the foundation, okay? Food is our foundation. And so this is one fact I will tell you, that sugar suppresses your immune system by like 80%, right?
Now, when you say sugar, can you eat like just a bag of gummy bears?
No, no. So white sugar, I mean, really, the body doesn't know the difference between sugar and honey. Really, it doesn't. It doesn't know the difference. It's still, if you're addicted to sugar, people say, well, if I'm not going to do white sugar, I'm going to put honey. The body doesn't know the difference. So sugar is sugar. It has a different effect on the body as far as, metabolically, but the body doesn't know the difference. But so if you start, how you start your day will determine a lot. So I know people start their day with coffee every day, with sugar. They say, oh, Rochelle, I do it black, or I don't put sugar, but they use creamers. That's still sugar, or they start with bagels, And so when I say sugar, most people are just thinking like cakes and pies and candy. I'm just talking about carbs, period.
Right.
You're going to be better off starting your day with protein, and some leafy greens, fruit salad. You'll be better off starting your day with that. That's going to set you up for a more productive day, right? A protected day. But as far as supplementation, definitely a multivitamin. Top supplements they're talking about is vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin E, and zinc. Those are your top 4, so vitamin C helps to produce more white blood cells, right? And so when you talk about the immune system, you want to have more white blood cells. So it increases, they call it phagocytosis, right? And so you want your phagocytes, that's a white blood cell, to eat those microbes, those pathogens that are in the body. So you want definitely to have vitamin C. And
now,
not
how much
just vitamin C
should we be having? Because I was taking 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and I had what was called a vitamin C flush. Do you know what that is, Rochelle?
No, I don't.
You can't leave out the bathroom. You should Google it.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Like, why am I doing this? But I was taking too much vitamin C.
That's a lot of vitamin C.
Nobody told me to be taking that much vitamin C, but I was like, COVID is here. Let me stock up on some vitamin C. And I was in the bathroom, couldn't leave out the bathroom. Got to Googling, why is this happening? And then I Googled that I was going through a vitamin C flush is what they call it. And I was like, again, I should have just stuck with the vitamins I was taking and not added on anything else. But how much vitamin C would you say we should be taking per day?
I mean, I don't take more than 500 or 600 milligrams of vitamin C a day. But however, let me give this caveat. All supplements, all vitamins are not created equal. Okay. So, because I've heard of people taking like, oh, my doctor said I got to take 50,000 IUs of vitamin D. I'm like, no, not Shackley's vitamin D, so I take Shackley's no more than say 500 or 600 milligrams a day of vitamin C. And I think that's more than enough. Now I'm speaking for Shackley, right? Because I know the power, the potency and the purity of these products. These other, over the counter products, synthetic products, I can't speak for. But that's all. I don't take more than say 600 milligrams a day of vitamin C. That's probably about the most I will take it in a day. But yeah, so vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, and zinc, those are probably the top 4. I mean, outside of a multivitamin, and that's outside of the multivitamin, because we all should be taking a basic multivitamin. But outside of that, just to help build your immune system, those 4. And then Shackley also has a patented product called Nutriferon, which is an immunity builder as well. I take. And then, of course, digestive health, your probiotic, because 60 to 70% of your immune system resides in your gut. And so you definitely need the probiotic and the prebiotic, as you mentioned, because the probiotic replaces the good bacteria in your colon, but the prebiotic feeds the probiotic, helps it to multiply and grow. So you really need them both, right? You need them both. And a lot of people, they know about probiotics, but they don't know about prebiotics. And they really, they work in tandem. So you need them both.
That's good.
Yeah.
What are some signs of people for instance, people may not be able to get to their doctors right now to get their blood work done. What are just some basic signs outside of fatigue or lethargy that you would say, hey, you need to go ahead and get vitamins. I was telling everybody one time, I was a nail technician. I got my nail license at 16 in New York State. And I was able to tell by the look of people's nails what vitamin they were deficient in. You know, if your nail was up at the bed, I was able to tell that you needed B vitamins. If your nail had a crack in the middle, I could tell that you were deficient in iron. And so our bodies really kind of tell us in a lot of different ways, but sometimes people have been this way for so long, they think it's normal. So what are some signs that you could give to people to say, hey, if you're experiencing these things, you definitely need a multivitamin or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, the energy is the big one, but even your skin, you know, your skin tone, your skin, typically if you're, you know, dry skin, brittle hair, you know, people talk about hair, nose, and I'm not hair, nose, hair, skin, and nail vitamins, just a basic multivitamin. When your hair, people, women and men, when your hair starts to, when it can't grow, say my hair just doesn't grow, but all of a sudden they start taking Shackley vitamins, all of a sudden, oh my God, my hair, you know, I've even seen people's toenails, right? You know how toenails, they start to get dark and brown, but you know, it's like, it's not getting the nutrients even down to the toes. But when you start to take these vitamins, all of a sudden people say, man, my nail bed is lighter, you know, my big toe was turning dark and now it's lightening up, you know. And so just some key things like that we typically think is just attributed to old age. And I'm like, no, it's not it. It's really, age is nothing but a number. Right? It's nutrients. It's about nutrients. And when you give your body what it needs to thrive, it will at any age, you know. So I don't even believe in this whole, when you turn 40, everything starts breaking down and this starts, and no, that's not true. That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Joints, like, you know, if you're having any joint pain or anything of that nature, a lot of that is just a vitamin deficiency. A lot of that is deficiency in zinc. A lot of that is a deficiency in vitamin D, which will cause joint pain. So those things, if you're like my joints are hurting, it's not your joints, it's a lack of nutrients. And if you supplement that, if you're not eating the food, you know, because you're not getting food, take that and your joints will stop hurting.
That's also attributed to sugar as well. Just, you know, people taking an absorbent amount of sugar every day and not enough water. So they dehydrated and just filled with sugar. So that sugar creates inflammation in your joints, right? So anything, you know, it has itis on the end, that means inflammation, right? And so whether it's arthritis, bursitis, I mean, you know, that's just inflammation of whatever joint, you know, whatever specific area they're talking about. And so typically I coach people through a fruit and veggie challenge the first 7 days of every month. So we start tomorrow. My next group, you know, we got about 50 some people in my private Facebook group, and we're about to start tomorrow. And typically after about 2 or 3 days, people feel so much better. Like they're like, oh my goodness, I can walk down the steps, you know, just like 2 or 3 days of no sugar, and they feel so much better. And so their body's just inflamed. Most people walk around with inflamed bodies and just retaining a lot of water. Most people, just from that standard American diet.
Somebody said, what if your nails don't normally break and then they start breaking all of a sudden? What defeats that?
That could be, if you're taking stuff, that could be you getting too much of something. You know what I mean? So that could be you getting too much of, because some people, like, you had to like overdose on, I don't want to call it overdose, but on the vitamin C, you know, you got to start looking at how much are you taking? Because some people just go overboard, just trying to overcompensate. And so you got to kind of rule some things out. But if they weren't breaking, all of a sudden they started breaking, then I got to say, what happened? What changed? You know, like, what are you doing differently? And you got to kind of rule those things out.
Yeah. So Jamar says, what are the basic vitamins that we need to be taking? We'll say it one more time. Just write it down or check back.
Yes.
But it is.
Okay. Here we go. So people ask me this all the time. Rochelle, you take a lot of stuff. Just give me like basics. What can I take? Okay. So typically this is what I would say. Okay. Outside of COVID, this is what I would say. A multivitamin, right? A probiotic, a vitamin D, and fish oil. Okay. That's what I would say. That's before COVID. Those are the 4 that I would say. However, since COVID has arrived, I would include vitamin C and vitamin E, right? Because we already got the D and the other things. So that's like 6. I'm sorry, and zinc. You're absolutely correct. And zinc. So we got probiotic, fish oil, vitamin D, multivitamin, vitamin C, vitamin E, and zinc.
Perfect. Now, would you suggest an elderly person take something that's additionally more, or?
Well, that's good. That's good. So Shaklee has, so you take the Vitalizer Women, right, which is the strip that pretty much has all of that in it. But Shaklee has one that's Vitalizer Gold. Vitalizer Gold is for those that are a little bit more seasoned, like 50 and over. And it just has a little bit of extra stuff. It has CoQ10 and some things like that. So typically, I'll be 50 in a couple of months. And so my husband and I, we take Vitalizer Gold. Just gives you a little bit of extra. Praise God.
And I love also, I don't listen to everybody's advice, but I love when I met you, I was talking to you and you were like, I don't eat any unclean food. We don't eat seafood. And I was like, okay, you're somebody I can listen to because.
Oh, yeah. Straight out. That's biblical. That's biblical right there. Straight out of Leviticus. Clean and unclean foods. And
give me the vitamin right there on the table. The vitamins right there on the table. Yep. Nope. I want the strip.
Oh, you gonna show it to him?
Yeah. No, there are some right there. Should be. Yep. Right in your face.
Yeah, show the people the strip.
I kind of keep this. Okay, so this is the strip that Ro has me taking. You guys can see it. But just to show you that this is the probiotic right here. Where is it? Okay, there you go. This is the probiotic right here. This is triple layered. That again, some probiotics are not layered enough. And because your stomach has so much acid, it doesn't bring it down to the bottom. And so this right here. This is a B vitamin, this yellow vitamin. Now, which B vitamin is that, Ro?
It's a B complex. So it's a compilation. Yeah.
Perfect. This is a B complex. These two green vitamins are, why can't I point to them?
The multivitamin.
Red vitamins are fish oil vitamins. So after I get done eating for the day, I then take all of these vitamins at one time.
Yep. I do too. Every day. I have not missed a day. It makes a difference, you know. So now, people say, Rochelle.
Somebody asked about anemia.
What? So it has iron. It has iron in it. So is that what they were asking? Like, what can you take for anemia? You could still take.
Okay, go ahead. No, I think there was a delay. You can go ahead.
The Vitalizer is still good. It has iron. The Vitalizer Women has iron. The Vitalizer Gold does not. Because typically a woman who's, no longer menstruating, they say that she doesn't need iron. So Vitalizer Gold does not have iron. The Vitalizer Women does, and the Vita-Lea, because any of those vitamins in the strip you can get by itself, right? So the multivitamin is called Vita-Lea, right? You can get Vita-Lea Women. It has iron, but we also have an iron supplement by itself. It's iron plus C complex. You can get that by itself. And so any one of those would work. Vitalizer Women, Vita-Lea Women, or the iron supplement. I just talked to a young lady today specifically about that. She called me and she asked me about her iron. And I told her, she said, well, if I take the iron plus C, do I still take the vitamin C? I said, absolutely. I wouldn't stop taking my vitamin C for anybody, not especially during the COVID time. But yeah, any of those three options will work.
What's the link for this? There's a few people that want to, I think everybody should get it. And don't let the price be a deterrent for you all, just because remember, you're getting all of these vitamins in one, and they're all natural ingredients. And so you're not getting anything that's, capped with some artificial things, which a lot of vitamins are. Just remember, you're getting all of these different kind of vitamins in one strip. So if you priced it, getting them separately is going to come out a little bit more expensive than just getting all of these.
Absolutely. So they can go on my site, RochelleTParks.com. I was going across on the ticker right there. And on my site, you click on wellness. Click on the tab wellness. It takes you straight to my Shaklee site. And you'll be there. You can get everything you need from multivitamins, from nutritional supplements, weight loss supplements, sports nutrition supplements, skincare, because I use their skincare products as well, and also household products. So I use it all.
Now, if somebody didn't eat meat, could that cause a deficiency? And if so, which vitamin would they take to boost that up?
Oh, the same thing. Absolutely, because they need the iron. If they're not getting the protein, if they're not doing meat, then they're missing out on the iron. So they most certainly should be taking the Vitalizer. So absolutely, Highly recommended.
There's so many questions. I want you all, if we don't answer your question today, I want you to at least make sure you do DM Rochelle, because she'll get right back to you with the answers and with your specific needs. So please, please, please make sure you get back to her, because she can, the same vitamins I take is not necessarily the same vitamins that she has another client of hers taking. The reason I know exactly what I need is because I went and got my blood work done. And so I knew what I was deficient in. And so we worked together to find the supplements that were going to best fit what I needed for my specific goals. But if you guys have anything that's going on, you might have high cholesterol, you might have high blood pressure, you might have whatever it is that you have, reach out to her, like DM her or send her a message somewhere and just say, hey, this is what's going on, what vitamin, and she'll send you a link to the specific vitamin. And what I also love about Ro is that she actually cares. Like, for those of you that know me, know that I don't work with anybody and I don't listen to anybody and I don't trust just anybody. But again, I have been taking these vitamins well before COVID-19 came to town, and my children take them. And so it's just a really, really good vitamin.
Amen. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So actually, for those people who don't know, though, we do have an instrument as a questionnaire. We call it the health print that they can fill out. And it's basically just asking them some basic lifestyle and diet questions. So based on their goals, their how they answered the questions and their budget, it gives just a recommendation, a protocol of supplements that they should take. And I will follow up and kind of walk them through that, and we can have a conversation and get them what they need. So that would be cool.
How do you increase your white blood cell count?
Nutriferon, that's that immunity builder. And also vitamin C. Like I said, vitamin C increases phagocytosis and phagocytes. That's your WBCs, your white blood cells. So vitamin C, and here's the deal. Vitamin C needs to come from food. So food or food concentrate, not synthetic over-the-counter vitamin C. And so here's the thing about that, because people may say, well, Shaklee is a whole food supplement, right? It's a whole food supplement. So these are not synthetic supplements, right? There are no metals, no fillers or anything like that. But anything you get from a pharmacist, or over-the-counter is going to be synthetic. And Shaklee is not. They're whole food supplements. And so that's where you want your vitamin C to come from.
Awesome. Is that the same thing? Somebody else asked, how do you remove metals from your blood or detox them out of the blood?
Yeah, so we do this thing, 7-day healthy cleanse, right? You just need to do a detox, but that's something I coach people through as well, is take these cleansing supplements. Again, they're from Shaklee. Alfalfa, liver DTX, you take a probiotic, you take a Herbalax. And so it's just a 7-day period where you just kind of cleansing the blood, replacing it with the good bacteria. And, so it is, we have supplements for that as well.
Awesome. Let's see here. Awesome. A few people said that they already have it.
Yes.
Quite a few people. Interferon is amazing.
Mm-hmm. I have a personal testimony. Well, not personal. I guess a more seasoned young lady at my church. She was having low white blood cell count, and the doctors made her stop taking all Shaklee supplements. They were just trying to figure out what was going on. They were running all these tests and they couldn't figure it out. And she was like, I don't know what's going on. And she said, Rochelle, my WBC count is low and they don't know what's going on. What does Shaklee have? I said, well, Nutriferon. That's what came to mind. And so she started taking it. And it was like 4 months later, she went back to the doctor and they were like, what did you do? What happened? Like your WBC count is normal. But she started taking Nutriferon, and so that's, yeah.
Yeah. And Ro also has a 7-day challenge coming up, is it? Or?
Yes, we start tomorrow, actually. We start tomorrow, 7-day fruit and veggie challenge. I do it every month. The first 7 days of every month, I coach.
I love that. I'm going to join.
Yeah, coach people through it, and I put them in a private Facebook group, and basically it just gives your body a reset, resets your digestive system, because you can actually heal your gut in 5 days. And so get rid of the addiction to sugar, get rid of the caffeine addiction, addiction to salt, all these things. And people just really, they get clarity of thought, they sleep better, they get rid of the inflammation in their body, their bowels move, get rid of acid reflux. I mean, all these amazing things happen in just 7 days. And so people, it's a good thing.
Listen, everybody, I'm sure she's going to, as soon as this video is over, put up the information to join the 7-day challenge. If you're at least a part of my book club, let's all join it. I think this is beautiful. And it's getting ready to be May 1st. And so I think that it's going to be great if all of us were able to join in together. I love Val's testimony. Her and I were talking earlier, and she was like, Tiff, I've been taking these, Val is knocking on 50. And every time she said, I'm like, girl, you look good. Do you understand? You just wouldn't guess it. But she said she loves both vitamin C and the B complex. They're both time release, and it totally stopped all of her hot flashes. She said her were so bad that she would just take off her clothes in front of anybody that was standing there. Like, I don't care who's looking, get off. It's so hot. And she was like, she just doesn't have the hot flashes anymore. And she's like, she's always amazed. Like she said, she was getting them so strongly that she doesn't have it. So I love that. In all the years that I've ever been live or doing anything, I've never really supported a supplement or a vitamin. But again, I've seen such a huge difference, not just in how I felt, but in my blood work. And the people that I'm like, Val, hey, I've seen such a huge difference. And my son's dad is like, he's seen such a huge difference. And, that it just, it really does speak for itself. Supplements for adults that cannot swallow pills.
Yeah, so we do have a liquid multivitamin. It's called Vita-Lea. So it's just a multivitamin. So it's not, it's like the liquid version of the Vita-Lea, the multivitamin. But we do have that because we do have some people that they struggle. But can I just tell you my trick in swallowing pills? Because I used to struggle with it as well. So this is what I do. This is my little inside trick, right? So I usually, I can't take it with water. It's just, I can swallow the water, water goes down, the pills won't. So I have to be eating food, right? And so typically I'll take a bite of something, whether it's a banana or whatever, and I chew. And then before I swallow, I put a pill in there and it goes down with the food. Now, as long as I'm eating food, I could take 100 pills. But with no food, probably about the only thing I can get down is the probiotic. That's probably about the only thing that can go down. But that's my trick. But we do have a liquid multivitamin. It's called Vita-Lea.
Okay. Vita-Lea, everybody.
Yeah.
What's good for, what if you have really bad sinus problems? Is that something a supplement can help, or do they need?
Oh, no, I got it. We call it the trifecta. Okay, write this down. Alfalfa, which is a natural histamine, vitamin C, and nutriferon. We call it the trifecta. Those three right there. I haven't had a person yet that's had any type of respiratory issues, seasonal allergies, bronchitis, whatever. I haven't had a person yet that's had any type of issues and didn't see relief with those three.
I love that. What about what's good for hyperactive thyroids?
So you got to start with food first. Food is the foundation, I tell you. I mean, before, see, sinuses, even with sinuses, that's food too, because I would tell a person, stop with the dairy. You got to cut the dairy. You got to leave the cheese alone. You got to leave the cow's milk alone first. And then let's address, beyond that. So you always got to get to the root, right? So if a person with the thyroid, we got to talk food first. We got to talk food. Because that starts everything, because anything else would be just putting a Band-Aid on it. You know what I mean? We got to get to the root, because health begins at the cellular level, right? And that's what happens. People got all these patches, all these Band-Aids, but you're not really addressing the root issue. So I'm trying to get to the root. Food is the foundation, and then supplement fills in the gap, right? So for anybody that has that type of issue, yeah, it's food.
And which vitamin C do you suggest people order?
Either one. Okay, so you got the time released, which is the one Val spoke on, or you got the chewable vitamin. So the time release is 500 milligrams.
What is that on here?
You said, what is it called?
Mm-hmm.
It's called vitamin C. It's called vitamin C, but it's time release vitamin C.
Is it the one that says sustained release?
Yes, sustained release. Yes, sustained released.
Okay. Yep,
that's the 500 milligrams. And then the chewable vitamin C is 100 milligrams. So I usually buy the chewable because, my whole family takes it. We just take about 5 or 6 a day. But if you get the sustained release, of course, just 1 a day.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Is it okay to detox right now because of COVID-19?
Absolutely. We need to.
The best time.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need to. This is the time to do it. We need to be as pure as possible right now. Get rid of all toxins and things like that. Again, that's fortifying your immune system, right? Let's clean out the junk, right?
Yeah. So somebody, Tressa, said she had her thyroid removed, and she takes Synthroid, but she always feels super tired and weak, and she's still gaining weight. What are some of your suggestions for that?
I first want to know what she's eating.
Yeah. Send her a quick DM and let her know what you're eating and let her know what you're on.
Yeah. Yeah, let's have a conversation. But food is absolutely, guys. I always say how we feel every day has everything to do with what we put inside of our bodies and what we expose our bodies to. So it's just no getting around it. You know, we have to start with the food. I promise you, most things can be at least mitigated just by changing our diets, you know. And even sometimes people, when they think they're eating healthy, they're really not. They're probably eating better than most, but it's still not the best. And so food is the absolute foundation. The devil is in the details for sure.
And what about somebody that might drink recreationally? Do you suggest they stop that alcohol usage, and does that suppress the immune system?
Absolutely, it does. Absolutely, it does. Alcohol, yeah, that doesn't help you. Especially, we got a lot of people that's drinking wine. You know, and that's a lot of sugar. It's a lot of liquid calories, and again, sugar really suppresses your immune system by like 70 to 80%. And so you're already stepping out the house with a T-shirt on instead of that bulletproof vest.
Okay,
you know,
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody's asking, is there anything to take for fatigue? She just hopping on. So yeah, you just might just go through the comments. There's a link that somebody put up, or go to RochelleTParks.com and get the Vitalizer. I shared that, you know, I even started getting on these strips because I was feeling super lethargic, super tired. I went to Rochelle and I was like, Ro, I'm feeling super tired, you know. And for those of you who don't know, she works with ET. That's how I found her. That's how I came into contact with her. I met her we were just all together one day, and they were like, this is, a matter of fact, we were all in a hallway. Yeah. And everybody was like, Ro, I took my vitamins today. Ro, I took my vitamins today. And I was literally, had just got done praying and asking God to send somebody in my life. And I have like you and my aunt and Dr. Nurse Gail. Like, I just had a few people that came to my rescue. But I caught you in a hallway and people were literally talking about their supplements, and you were doing the same thing. Okay, well, you need to take this, you need to be taking this. And I was like, what I need to take? And you were like, you're taking this and this and this. And again, what I loved was you didn't give us this basic answer for all three of us. All three of us were taking different things. And on top of that, you had a group of people that were also on you were doing the fruit and veggie.
Right, exactly.
We were in DC, and they were all like, hey, Ro, I'm still on it. And like, they were giving you their updates. And so I was just very pleased to see that people were listening to you. And again, you came highly recommended just because you were working with ET. So
yeah, praise God. Well, I thank you. I thank you so much, Tiphani, just for your, first of all, having such a great interest in your own health, you know. And so I always say health is not important until you don't have it, you know. And so I just wish more people would pay more attention. You know, a friend of mine told me something a long time ago that stuck with me. She said, Rochelle, you must consider everything you eat. You must consider everything you put in your mouth. Just consider it. And yeah, so I just, I'm so grateful to you, grateful to have you on, just to share your knowledge. I mean, such an influencer, such a woman of God. And I know people look up to you. So, and I'm super excited that you're taking these supplements and you're having such great success, because it's been nothing but a blessing for me and my family, and just hundreds and thousands of others. And so I'm excited to have you here and to share your own testimony. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm getting ready to order some more. I don't know if you see, I'm online now. I got some in my carts. I was like, when me and Ro were talking, I don't have hot flashes, but I still want to, you know, I'm eating less and less meat these days. And so I still know that I need like a B12, that vitamin that I'm not getting. And so when I was talking to Ro, I was like, I don't have that. I take the B complex in my strip, but I was like, I want, you know, I want my own vitamin B complex. So yeah. I'm on here myself, getting ready to order me another bottle. But so Tashika says she had a hysterectomy when she was 23 years old. and her hormones are everywhere. What can she take? What can she take for regulating, or at least dealing with the side effects of that?
So B complex is good, and we also have a product called GLA. It's gamma lanolinic acid. But I would love to have a conversation with her as well, because also I want to know what she's eating. I want to know what she's eating. But definitely B complex. Just really the Vitalizer would be great, because the B complex is in the Vitalizer. But additional B complex is also a good recommendation. I take additional B. I take my Vitalizer. But during my second round, right, because I take a round of supplements during breakfast, and then for lunch, I take another round, and I usually take B complex. And my daughter, my 16-year-old, I started her taking B complex when she was probably around 12, just to, get into that age, that preteen age, and, just controlling those emotions and those hormones. And
vitamins really help with your mood.
Absolutely.
Like, if you're finding that you're having like mood swings, or you're if depressed a little, or you might not be depressed, you might have a vitamin deficiency.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mood swings and all of that have everything to do with these vitamins and with deficient. And it's almost like so powerful how God put together our bodies, where people think they're depressed and think that they're sad or think that they're angry. And as soon as you start taking these vitamins, you're like, I don't really have those emotions anymore.
Right.
All to do with these, my vitamin level and mineral, like that's insane. So
it's just that it's crazy. So let me give you this analogy I tell people, because I try to break it down like so simple that my 10-year-old can understand it, right? So okay, just follow me for a second, Tiff. Tell me if you understand it. So if you break us down to our most basic level, we're made up of cells, like all the way down to our most basic unit, we're made up of cells. So it says, cells make up tissues make up organs make up organ systems make up the organism, like the person, right? So if you have healthy cells, they'll make healthy tissues, which will make healthy organs, which will make healthy organ systems, which will have a healthy organism. The converse is also true. You have unhealthy cells, you follow that all the way through, you're going to have an unhealthy person, right? But the way God made these bodies, right? We're so intricate. I think he knew what he was doing, right? The way he made these bodies, that as unhealthy cells or bad cells, they die off. New cells are always regenerated. So how do you get the healthy cells? It's by the food you eat, the nutrients you give it, right? And so as the bad cells die off, you can replenish those with good cells. And so, you can have, that's why a person that's, I've actually seen a person that smoked for like years, had a black lung, but stopped smoking in a year, and all of a sudden their lungs were pink again. That's why, you like, these things die off, and you can rebuild a heart in 30 days. Like, that's why you can reset your gut in 5 days, like just by giving the body what it needs. God made us.
He said that you can rebuild a heart in 30 days.
Yes.
And we've been hearing of these sudden stroke surges and people, very young people, dropping dead of heart attacks. But what you're saying is God has built our bodies so intricately detailed that we began to worship God through making sure that we were eating healthy things. We could rebuild brand new heart in 30 days.
Yes, it's amazing. When you give your body what it needs to thrive, it will. I've had people that said, Rochelle, I have not been able to, like both of my knees are shot. My knees, I've been limping for 5 years, and then they change their diet, giving the body and all of a sudden they're running the marathon, or Rochelle, I walked out backwards coming down the steps because my knees hurt so bad. And by day 3 on the fruit and veggie challenge, they're coming down forward. It really, it's amazing.
I love that. Somebody said Ashika said this is eye-opening. She has multiple lumps on her breast, fibroanemia. What do you suggest to take or do?
Wow. Multiple lumps. Has she gotten that checked out?
Yeah, she said it was fibroanemia. So it sounds like she's gotten that checked out.
Yeah. So a lot of the stuff, when you start talking about fibroids and lump, a lot of that is food related too. Yes. A lot of it is food related. So again, I always got to start with the food. Like, what are you eating? It's like people that have fibroids and stuff. It's like, sugar and all this, it feeds those things. The stuff that you eat feeds the lumps. It becomes like that becomes the food for the lump, and it helps it to grow. You know what I mean? So it starts with the food. I just think God, in Genesis, he told us what to eat from the very beginning. You know what I mean? And it was fruits, it was vegetables. It was vegetables. It was only later on that he said we can have meat, and fish, but it would start out with vegetables. So I think when you start with the foundation, and how he said, so three principles that I learned, right? I'm like, if you can follow these three principles, you're going to be okay. Principle number one, eat the food God called food, right? So eat the food he gave us. He gave us meat. He gave us fish. He gave us fruits, vegetables, seeds, grains, legumes. So eat the food God gave us. Eat it as close to its original state as possible, right? So that means eat the orange instead of drinking the orange juice, right? And if you make cabbage, don't kill it. So it shouldn't be mushy. So, because when you cook it, overcook it, you lose all of its nutritional value. So eat the food God gave us, eat it as close to its original state as possible. And number three, do not allow any food to be your God. That means no addictions. No, we shouldn't be addicted to anything, right? And so food is the foundation. If you stick to those three principles, you're probably going to be okay.
Yes, love that. Now, do you have anything to help reverse diabetes?
Oh, do I? Food, leafy greens, protein. If it's type 2, type 2 diabetes, that can be reversed through nutrition and exercise, period. Point blank, hands down, end of story. And if you need help with that, please reach out to me like ASAP. Okay.
Awesome. And what would you say? Fortune says, how do you actually rebuild your heart? Is there a vitamin, a supplement, food as well?
Yeah, it starts with food, but we have that absolutely Omega Guard, which is our version of fish oil, CoQ10. We have supplements, but food, absolutely. Because, the heart has, when I say rebuild your heart, people can have some clogged arteries, and so when you start to eat the right stuff, right? That plaque that's built up in your arteries and stuff, that stuff starts to wither away. You start to, everything is it's kind of regenerating. It's coming back to life. A lot of times as we get old, we think things start breaking down. That's because we haven't given it anything. It's like, how do you expect for cells to renew if you haven't given it the proper nutrients? If your every day is fried food and soda and sugar, then it has nothing to build on. It has nothing to replenish. As Tiphani said, it's been 87 octane, and so it's not operating at peak proficiency. But when you start giving your body the 93 octane, the leafy greens, the lean protein, the fruits, the vegetables, the water, I promise you, it's a game changer. It's a game changer in how you feel and definitely in your blood work.
Yes. So guys, if you have any other questions for Ro, make sure that you DM her. We have so many questions here, but make sure you shoot her a DM so she can give you specifics for your situation. Ashley says she has a friend who's struggling with infertility. Her fallopian tubes are clogged, but she believes God will open up her womb. She's going towards a plant-based diet now, but what other vitamins can she take?
Vitalizer. I have a personal testimony. I had a friend of mine that I used to work with in the military, and she and her husband were trying to conceive, and they had been trying for like 2 or 3 years. And me and another friend went to their house. Of course, we prayed with them, and we looked at how they were eating, and they had a lot of processed foods, and they had a lot of alcohol. And we just said, you know what, you have to get rid of all of this. You have to start over, eat fresh, get rid of this alcohol. This is not doing you any good. And they followed our advice. They got rid of all the alcohol. I mean, literally, like, poured it out. Their friends were upset too, but they poured it out, went to the grocery store, replenished, and probably within 6 months they were pregnant. And they now have 2 kids. They have 2 kids now, but within 6 months they were pregnant. And so when I tell you, when you give your body what it needs to thrive, it will. It absolutely will.
Oh, good. Steph says, what do you got for athletes? She's been taking crazy performance supplements like Stimulate and Synth6. So what do you have for athletes?
So Shackley has a whole sports nutrition line. Go on my site. I mean, we have protein to build muscle. We have our own version. I call it our own version of Gatorade called Performance. I drink it every day. I mean, I'm a certified personal trainer and health coach. 30 military retired, military officer, 30 years in the military. So I know all about performance. We have everything, hydration drinks, muscle builder, recovery, complex recovery supplements. So absolutely, sports nutrition line. And this is the cool thing. We have a section of Olympic athletes called the Pure Performance Team that take Shaklee supplements. And if you know anything about Olympic athletes, they can't just take anything. They have to make sure the stuff they take is pure. That's and right. Since 1984, yeah, they get tested all through the night, right? And so I believe since 1984, they've gotten over 140 Olympic medals since 1984. So they've been taking these supplements for quite some time.
Wow. And somebody wants to know, if you have any iron pills that make you nauseated?
They said, do the iron pills make you nauseated?
No, do you have iron pills that don't make you nauseated?
None of our stuff makes you nauseated.
Mm-mm. And Ro always tells me to eat when I take mine. So
maybe that's what she's saying. Okay, that's what she's saying. Yeah, absolutely. I don't take any of my supplements on an empty stomach. Okay, none of it. I don't take anything. So I always eat food when I'm taking my supplements, if that's what they were asking. So yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Val says, tell everybody a little bit about the skin stuff.
The skincare. So Youth Skincare is the product line for Shaklee, and I've been using it. It is for all skin types, right? It's even for African Americans, but I have my own before and after pic of when I started using Shaklee products. And again, first and foremost is the food, right? So they say you can't outwork a bad diet. Well, I don't think any supplement is gonna outdo what a bad diet is doing. And so definitely once you start eating cleaner and drinking more water, but on top of that, definitely use skincare. They have the cleanser, the moisturizers, the toners, eye makeup removers. They have mascara. They have everything. And they say, I think it's like over 2,500 harmful ingredients that are normally found in skincare products we don't have in ours, right? They're vegan. They're not tested on animals. And it's been clinically proven that these products will take a decade off your skin. So I'm about to be 50. So I'm already looking 30. So I'm about to be looking 20, Tiffany. I'm about to be looking 20.
What do you have for like healthy weight gain, if anything?
Yeah. So our Life Shake, we have whey protein, plant-based, we have soy-based. And so, our protein, our smoothie mix, good for weight gain for those that want to take it. Each serving is 20 grams of protein. So absolutely, that would be good. You can double up on the protein on the scoops if you want to get more protein. But for weight gain, definitely by adding more protein. But you just want to add clean protein, not just, some people want to gain weight and they start eating a lot of fat and things like that. No, you want to add clean protein.
Yeah. And do you have anything for polycystic ovary syndrome?
No, not off the top of my head, but I would still want to know what they're eating. Still want to know what they're eating.
So, okay. Tamika says, what about high blood pressure?
Yes. First and foremost is food. Okay. Let's look at what you're eating. Things that are high in sodium and things like that. Definitely, if you're eating out a lot, well, I know during COVID, we're not eating out too much now, but if you're eating out, even before COVID, for those that were eating out, even if you get anything, especially meat, it has an absorbent amount of sodium in it because, salt is a preservative. And so anytime you're eating out, I tell people they didn't make that just for you. They're making it for the masses, right? And so it's filled with sodium. So the best way to control the sodium intake is to cook your own food. And so beyond that, drinking your water. So again, food is the foundation, but we do have a supplement and it's called blood pressure. That's exactly what it's called, blood pressure. But food is the foundation. I've helped many people get off of high blood pressure medication just by changing their diet.
Awesome. Okay, everybody. So I just want to remind you, she has a 7-day fruit and vegetable challenge that starts, ironically, tomorrow. I didn't even know that. So that is so dope. I want everybody to join in on this challenge. I think habits are so much easier to break when people are working together instead of trying to do it on your own. And so let's just encourage each other and let's join this 7-day challenge. And then we covered so much ground during this live. I want everybody to not just watch the live, but share this live with 3 people in your life that you think could really benefit from these supplements and from the information that we shared today. And I just want you, like, if you go in the comments and Ro will make another post with the actual link, and you see the link right there, it's RochelleTParks.com. It'll take you right to the actual supplements and You can kind of pick which ones that you need based off of what we spoke about today. And then if you're like, Tiff, I asked a question, you didn't see it, you didn't answer it, feel free to inbox Ro. She's happy to answer your questions. And again, with her 30-year military performance, she's also a physical trainer, licensed. She's also she's just really well-rounded in all of this information. Please feel free to inbox her, and she's more than happy to help and just point you in the right direction, and also hire her. You know, if you're like, hey, I need a personal trainer or I need a coach that's going to stick, you don't get no better than somebody in the military. Do you understand me? And she's not in the military no more, but she got that real strict background with her. You know, I'm a fan of strict now because that's what I do. So if you're like, Tiff, I've been looking for, I believe in putting together team members for your life. And, you're definitely one of the people that are on my team as far as the health side of it, and just making sure I'm on the right direction. I do my own studying and research. So even though Rochelle tells me a lot, I still go back and research what she said. I don't take anybody's information blindly. Neither should any of you. But I have found that what she said has been accurate. So I just go with it. So just make sure. Yeah. So Melissa, for those of us that are on the fast, we will then join in on the fruits and veggie fast after 6 p.m. Yep. So we would not eat any food at all during the day. And then after 6 p.m., which you would not eat any meat, just fruits and vegetables. So yeah, we're super excited about this. And so thank you for having me, Ro. This is so good. Make sure you guys follow her Facebook page and stay engaged. She's really good at what she does. She's very passionate about what she does, and she's more passionate about seeing people healthy. Like that is passion of hers. So thank you for inviting me, and talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. This is our version of Mindset Talks with Tiphani Montgomery. Tiphani, thank you. You're such a blessing. You've blessed me today, and you've blessed so many others just by being here. So, guys, thank you so much. And Tiphani, I'll be talking to you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, before you go, I just want to let you know I am hosting a 7-day fruit and vegetable challenge on the first of the month. Guys, I do it every month. I've done it for the last 2 years. You say, why do I need that? Well, let me tell you what can happen in 7 days. In just 7 days, you can rid your body of the addiction to sugar, the addiction to salt. You can get rid of inflammation in the body. Guys, you can get mental clarity. You can sleep better. So many great things can happen in just 7 days. So don't delay any longer. Go ahead and click the link below and go ahead and sign up. We're getting started on the 1st, okay? I'll see you on the 1st.